If you've got a cruise coming up soon, don't start packing just yet. Today I'm sharing the cruise essentials I never leave home without, plus a few embarkation tips that can make your vacation start off so much smoother. Hey everyone, I'm Danielle Warren. I'm a travel advisor and a travel YouTuber, and I love sharing vlogs, tips, and helpful information that help to make your vacation smoother and more stress-free. Thanks so much for checking it out, and let's jump in. Okay, we're gonna start with cruise cabin essentials. They're just smaller in general, right, than a hotel room. They're trying to fit a lot of people onto the cruise ship, and so the space can feel a little cramped sometimes. So the counter space is a premium. You wanna make sure you're utilizing all the space you can to the best of your ability, and wall space is really important. There's actually really great ways to utilize the walls. So the first thing is gonna be magnetic hooks. Cruise cabin walls are metal, so they make these magnetic hooks. They're very strong, and you just stick them on the wall. They're great for damp bathing suits, damp towels, hats, bags, bags that aren't too heavy. Sometimes if a bag is a little heavy, I'll have to use 2 hooks. I also use them for my hanging toiletry bag. Another thing I use these hooks for is to attach my magnetic shoe organizer. This is so lightweight, like very easy to pack. You can hang it on the wall with your magnets, and it holds not only shoes, but anything you want. I found some shoes can be too heavy and it starts falling and sliding down the wall. So you need really strong magnets if you're gonna do all shoes, but we actually use ours for sunscreen, aloe gel, sunglasses, goggles. I mean, when I'm going with my family, like we're putting all kinds of stuff in here, and there's so many pockets. It's such a great way to use your wall space in the stateroom. So especially if you're going with a family, I feel like this is a great buy for that, but I have taken it when I've cruised with just me and a girlfriend. My next essential for organizing your stateroom and keeping things off the floor, and this is a pop-up hamper. But it literally is like this small when it's all wrapped up, and it's very easy to do. Have you ever had like those pop-up tents or pop-up things that are just like, once they pop up, you can never get them small again? Like this is really easy. It like folds and then it turns into a little circle, and it's actually not that hard. Not very heavy, very compact, easy to pack. And I do like taking it just to keep all of the dirty clothes in one spot. Also, I like being able to hang things over top of it. Like maybe I worked out and my clothes are still a little like sweaty and damp. I don't want to throw them all in there with all the clothes, so I just kind of hang it over the side of the hamper. Another thing that I mentioned is a hanging toiletry bag, and I do have one that I can link below. Anything that I have, I am an affiliate of Amazon, and so I can put those links in the description below. So thank you for supporting the channel. The hanging toiletry bag is great because it also holds all of my jewelry, and it just holds a lot of stuff. I use multiple magnetic hooks to hold it up because it can get so heavy. But I just like to have a lot of stuff on the walls. Keep the sink surfaces as clutter-free as possible. So that was organizing your stateroom. Part number 2 is pool essentials. So we're gonna talk about clothing as well as like the things I like to have to make my pool day, which honestly, if I'm on a Caribbean cruise or any kind of warm weather cruise, I'm spending a lot of my time at the pool or on the deck. The first thing is I like to have a good beach tote, and usually something that's easy to pack and lightweight. So just like a nice little fabric one. I have a couple. This one I sometimes will take with me, and then I think this one I got on Amazon, but it's just like a kind of a mesh material, bunch of little pockets inside. And I just like having something that I can take to breakfast with me with all of my stuff, so I can just run out to the pool deck right after breakfast and not have to go back to my room, put my water bottle in there, put my sunscreen, and just have all of my pool essentials in one spot. The next thing is a waterproof phone pouch, and I like having that so that if I want to be on my phone while I'm in the hot tub or sitting in the pool, I know my phone's not gonna get dropped into the water. So I have these, I use them. They're great for filming too. I filmed underwater with these. when I was snorkeling and all kinds of stuff, and they work great. Another thing that I like for the pool are towel bands, or you can even do like those towel clips for keeping your towel in place. But the other thing I like is that it's easy to find your chairs. You know, some of these places, like, there's chairs everywhere, and you might like hop out of your chair to go grab a snack or go to the hot tub or get in the pool and then come back. And especially when you're with your family, just knowing where your chairs are. And I have a bunch of different colors. I use those towel bands because they're lightweight, easy to pack. So I'll link those below. Another thing that you can do with your towel clips is, if you have a balcony, you can hang your bathing suits on the chairs on your balcony with your clip. Bathing suits dry a lot better outside than they will inside your stateroom. And just in case they want to blow around, it's nice to secure them to the chairs with your towel clips. Make sure you have all the different types of sun protection that you need, and especially when you're going to the Caribbean or anywhere further south. It's just the sun is so much stronger sometimes than we're used to. So making sure you have your sunscreen, a sun hat, your rash guard or cover up, sunglasses. Some places require that you have reef safe sunscreen, so I always recommend checking depending on where you're going. You know, a bonus would be having aloe gel just in case you do get sunburned. So I don't know about you, but when I'm on a beach resort vacation, all-inclusive vacation, cruise vacation, I pretty much live in my bathing suit and cover up. I look at pictures from some of our vacation, I'm like, I pretty much, like, I had pajamas, I had a bathing suit and a cover up that I wore all day, and then maybe like a little sundress that I wore in the evening, but it was pretty much like bathing suits. So since it's basically like my vacation outfit, I like to change it up and have multiple options depending on my mood for the day or what I'm feeling. That's one reason that I'm partnering with Cupshe for this video and showcasing their summer collection. I found several really fun little two-piece bathing suits, a lot of cute cover-ups and things that I could wear around the pool area or even inside to the buffet, you know, when I want to grab some lunch or coffee or something. So I wanted to share some of those bathing suits with you. I also have a coupon code and a link that I will put in the description. So if you want to use my coupon code for a qualified purchase with Cupshe, make sure you check out that link and the coupon code in the description below. But let me go ahead and show you some of the pieces that I chose from the summer collection. There's a lot of different items, but these are the ones that I chose. First up is this black and white bikini. The underwire gives great support, but it's not so structured that it feels tight or uncomfortable. The straps are super comfortable. The back tie is like, it's fabric. It's that stretchy fabric, so it's easy to adjust the tightness of the top. This black and white cream knit cover up is one of my absolute favorites. It has such an effortless European resort feel and is something I could easily wear inside to the buffet to grab lunch before or after lounging by the pool. Next is this black and white stretchy cover up that you can wear two different ways. I love styling it as a skirt, but it also works as a dress. The fabric has spandex, so it's incredibly soft, stretchy, and comfortable. The slit on the side makes it easy to move in and helps the dress to feel free. It's not constricting. Then there's this cream sarong with ruffle hem. I'm absolutely in love with this piece. I think it's so cute. It reminds me of like being on the beaches in Italy somewhere. I mean, it's so European looking. The adjustable tie waist gives you a customizable fit, and it has that chic, elevated vacation look that I really was hoping for. I love the fabric of this colorful two-piece. It feels so silky and comfortable. And once again, the bottoms fit securely without shifting around a lot. Finally, the cream tie cover-up is the perfect finishing touch. It's adjustable, lightweight, and neutral, so it really does match any swimsuit. I love all these neutral cover-ups because they're really versatile and can be worn with pretty much anything. For reference, I am 5'4", and I generally wear a size extra small, sometimes a small depending on what I'm wearing, but anywhere from an extra small to small, 0 to, and the extra smalls fit me really well. They were true to size. These will definitely be coming with me on my cruise to the Caribbean. I'm really excited to have some new pieces and stuff that's affordable. If you're planning a beach getaway and want some affordable, stylish pieces, like I said, I'll put that coupon code in the description and a link where you can shop with Cupshe. When it comes to swimsuits, I also recommend bringing more than one so that you always have one that's fully dry. I'm not a huge fan of putting a wet bathing suit on, like even damp if it's a little kind of chilly, because it does feel chilly in the ship. They keep it very well air conditioned, so I get a little chilly if I'm inside. Another thing I'd make sure to pack is a sweatshirt or sweatpants or something kind of cozy and warm if you have a tendency to get cold. Also maybe a shawl or a jacket for dinner because it will be a little chillier due to the air conditioning. When it comes to attire, some people get a little concerned about the formal nights on the cruise. You don't really need to think of it as super formal. You will see a very contrasting variety, anything from Sunday best or sundresses and a collared shirt and pants to prom attire, like tuxes and formal gowns. You can go anywhere in that spectrum that you want. Just think of it more as dress your best. So whatever your best is, or whatever feels formal to you, that's fine. A few other like travel comfort essentials that I think are really important. I like to make sure I stay hydrated. I usually bring a reusable water bottle or tumbler. I usually like to have also a insulated cup or coffee mug because I like my coffee to stay hot or my drinks to stay cold. So I always have some kind of something for my water and something for my coffee or hot tea. Another thing I bring is a wine tumbler for the wine that I bring on board with me to save on some of the costs of drinks on board. Usually with most cruises, and I always recommend you check the cruise line that you're going on, but most cruises allow you to bring one bottle of wine per adult or like a 6-pack can of beers or hard seltzers just to have a little bit of beverages in your room. If you are gonna take your bottle of wine to dinner, there usually is a corkage fee at dinner if you open it at the table. But what I'll do sometimes is either take my own wine tumbler or I'll just ask my cabin steward for a wine glass and I'll just pour it before I go to dinner and then I just bring my drink with me. So that's one way you can do it, or even just to have in your stateroom. But make sure you always check to make sure you know what you can actually bring on board with you. I also bring a dish cloth and a travel size dish soap if I am gonna be bringing some cups. I just like to make sure I'm keeping them somewhat clean and I don't wanna use the washcloths for that. All right, and part 4, before you leave home. These are a couple of things I like to make sure I have before I leave. One is plastic luggage tag holders. Don't put this on your suitcase until you arrive in the city that you are departing from. So I have to make sure I say that. Don't put it on your luggage before you fly. But before you go to the port, you wanna make sure you put your cruise luggage tags on your suitcase. And I love having the little like plastic covers, just something to keep your luggage tag from ripping off before it makes it to your room. Make sure you have a carry-on that can fit your essentials for your embarkation day before you get your luggage. So this is gonna be anything that you need to have with you when you board the ship. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna, on embarkation day, you're gonna pull up, you're going to give them your checked luggage. You won't see your checked luggage for several hours. It will magically appear in your stateroom. People work really hard to get it there for you, so I always like to bring a few bills. I usually tip $1 or $2 per piece of luggage at least to the porters who, you know, they work for tips there, so make sure you do tip when you drop your luggage off. But in your carry-on bag, you wanna make sure you have your passport and IDs, any wine or drinks that you're bringing on board. You do not want those in your check bag. They need to be in your carry-on. Any prescription meds you have or any medications you might need, your cell phone, if you think you might be wanting to go to the pool early, or if you have little kids that are gonna wanna go to the pool early, make sure you have their swimsuits, anything they need for the pool, and then anything else that you think you might need before the luggage arrives to your room. But you don't want your luggage to be so heavy that you can't carry it. You're not gonna be getting into your room right away, so you wanna make sure it's something that's not too uncomfortable. And I wouldn't recommend bringing a rolling suitcase, just like a tote or a backpack, something that you can carry with you around the ship. I also recommend bringing a small crossbody or a day bag, which would be perfect for excursions, you know, keeping your valuables close to you, and something that's not so big like your carry-on bag, just something that's smaller for taking around the cruise ship or on excursions. And then lastly, like I mentioned, you want to bring some small bills, some 1s and 5s to have on hand to tip your porters at the cruise terminal if you order any room service. Even for cruises where room service is included, there's not an extra charge, you still will want to tip. So I like to have some small bills for tipping for room service. If you go on any tours, tipping the tour guides or the shuttle drivers. So just make sure you have some extra cash on hand. Here are a couple bonus essentials, just quick mentions that I'm gonna just like rattle off really fast. And if you want more information about other packing essentials, I'll link some other packing videos below that I have done so you can see some other things that you might want to bring with you. Motion sickness medications or patches or acupuncture bands. I even bring like ginger chews. Some cruises offer Dramamine free on the ship, so that's something good to know if you think you might need it but you don't have it with you. Another thing that cruises will provide for you is extension cords and distilled water for CPAP machines. Some cruises will charge for the water and some will give it to you for free, but you want to put the request in ahead of time so that it's listed on your booking. Over-the-counter medicines, you want to kind of have like a mini drugstore with you because it is way more expensive to buy Tylenol on a ship or in a port than it is to get it at your house. So just make sure anything that you might need, nasal spray, Tylenol. I even bring my essential oils with me that I use regularly, like for bug bites. Wrinkle release spray, you can also sometimes just steam them when you're taking a shower. I just stick stuff in the bathroom with me, but if you're worried about, you know, not having an iron, you can do wrinkle release spray, hand sanitizer or sanitizing wipes, Ziploc bags for wet swimsuits or for snacks, Post-it notes if you want to leave like notes for your cabin steward or even just like a little notepad or something. All right, next we're gonna move on to my embarkation tips and my top cruise tips to help make especially your first day more stress-free. I recommend arriving the day before your cruise. I don't always trust the airlines and you just never know. What if something happens, weather or your flight gets canceled, and it really would just stink to miss your cruise. So if it's far away and you are flying in, I highly recommend getting in the night before and getting a hotel. It just saves on the stress of the what ifs, as well as like if something does happen and you miss a connection. When you're pulling up to the port, make sure you have all of your stuff ready. So you'll have your luggage in the back, probably in the trunk, but you're gonna have your personal items with you, and make sure that you have all of your stuff ready because they really wanna get you in and out of that area as quick as possible. So your phone, make sure you have your passport easily accessible, and any tip money that you're gonna give to the porters, I would just make sure you have all of that really handy as soon as you get out of that car or transfer vehicle. First thing I like to do when I get on the ship is go eat lunch. Usually I eat a very, very light breakfast, if anything at all, so I'm hungry when I get onto that ship. You can go to the buffet and it will feel a little crazy. So especially with ships where people can't get into their room right away, the ship is going to feel more crowded than normal. Just know the first few hours may feel a little nuts. People don't know their way around the ship, they're kind of wandering, and everybody's going to eat. So for that reason, you may want to do the table service restaurant if there is a table service restaurant open for lunch on embarkation day. Usually there's one restaurant that's open for lunch. I would head there for a little bit more of a relaxed feel rather than trying to find a table at the buffet and, you know, everybody getting up and going and getting their food when there's so many people. Totally up to you. My family loves doing the buffet, but I've also done the sit down table service meals on embarkation day, and it just feels a little more laid back. Also, I recommend exploring the ship when you get on board. Before it gets really busy, go ahead and start exploring. Walk around, check out the spa. A lot of times they do like open houses at the spa and they have special promotions. If you have kids, go to the kids club, check that out. Make sure that the kids feel comfortable with it. You know where it is. You understand the programming. Find the dining room or dining rooms. Some of the cruises are now going to like multiple dining rooms where you change every day. Find the coffee shop or your fave coffee shop if there's multiples of them. That's like an important one to me. Like I just love getting my coffee in the mornings. Locate your favorite pool or hot tub. Learn the layout before sail away. Like it's hard. Some of these cruise ships are so massive and they have these maps everywhere so you can see where things are, but you know, walk around, get some fun pictures. Check out some of the places that maybe you won't go all the time, but you can kind of check it out before it gets crowded and the programming's going on. Also, just know it's not going to be nuts the whole time you're on your cruise. The reason it feels like there's so many people is because nobody can get into their rooms yet. There's not a lot of programming and activities going on just yet, so the crowds haven't dispersed. But once the cruise gets going, it's not going to feel as chaotic. After you eat lunch, you may be able to get into your room at that point. As soon as I can get into my room, I like to unpack ASAP so that I am totally set for the rest of the cruise. I unpack my suitcase, I put my clothes on hangers in the closet. I like to have my suitcase fully unpacked so that I can store my suitcase underneath the bed or in a closet wherever it will fit. Usually the beds have enough space underneath them to store your luggage under the beds, but you can also put them in closets or kind of in a corner somewhere. I don't like to be living out of a suitcase, so I do like to fully unpack and then I'm set for the rest of the week. Make sure to do your safety briefing within the first few hours of boarding the ship because they will not leave unless every person has finished their safety briefing. Every cruise does it a little bit different. Some places like Celebrity and some other cruises, you have to go to your muster station and check in with them and hear a little bit about the safety briefing from them. Some cruises you only have to make sure you watch it on your TV, so make sure you know exactly how you're going to do your muster drill, but you do need to do it at some point before the cruise will depart. Put your phone in airplane mode. You don't want any roaming charges. Either connect to the Wi-Fi if you've purchased a Wi-Fi package or you have a Wi-Fi package with the cruise, or you can have it on airplane mode and still access the cruise app, which will still allow you to do things like browsing the app, seeing the schedule, and also messaging. A lot of the apps have the ability to message with other people in your traveling party. Also, a little tip for each day, if you want to know a little bit more about what's going on every day, there's a little like cruise show that will tell you a little bit more about what's happening each day, what time you need to be back on the ship. Again, that's also going to be on the itinerary on your app. Don't try to do everything. This is a big tip and something that I think is really important because it's tempting to pack every minute with activities, but one of the best parts of cruising is like the slowing down of it. Spend some time watching the ocean, read on your balcony, sipping coffee and just enjoying conversation with somebody you're traveling with, just enjoying the atmosphere. It can be really, really tempting to want to do everything. There's so many activities because they have to have all kinds of things for different types of people. Dance parties, silent disco, adult coloring. I know because I actually did adult coloring one time. I was just like, I want to do everything. There's so many things. Karaoke, different like entertainment everywhere. Don't feel the pressure to feel like you have to experience everything on this one cruise. There's always opportunities to travel again. And if you feel like you're going, it doesn't feel restful. And sometimes it's just nice to take the pressure off. Don't feel like you have to experience every single thing this ship has to offer and just take the day as it comes. You know, maybe plan a few things that you're gonna do that day, but don't try to pack your schedule full. And also talk with the people that you're traveling with to clear up expectations of what the cruise is gonna be and how you know, what kinds of activities you're gonna do together, how the other person likes to relax. Like I am married to somebody who loves to sleep in on vacation and he likes to take naps. I'm like, I don't want to miss out on my vacation, but I do want to rest. I'll probably be doing some more activities than he will be, and that's okay. Just having those expectations of, okay, like you want to sleep in or take a nap here, but I would love for you to go walking on the deck with me later tonight. Don't be afraid to ask your cabin steward for something that you need. Earlier I was talking about wine glasses. If you need some wine glasses. One time I accidentally spilled water on my bed and like the whole thing was wet, and we had to leave a little note in our room and ask them to change the sheets because it was close to bedtime. You can ask for more hangers if you need more hangers. If you have a mini bar and it's stocked but you have to pay for all of those things, which some of the cruises still have stocked mini bars, and you don't want somebody to accidentally eat or drink something that's in there, ask them to remove it. They'll remove it for you. If traveling with kids, have a way of communicating with them. So like a WhatsApp or on the cruise app, make sure that you have a plan if somebody loses the group. Make sure they know the room number that you're in, but like we're gonna meet at the stateroom or we're gonna meet here. That way you're not trying to figure out where did they go when they couldn't find us. Some cruise lines actually have tracking things, like I know Princess with the medallions, and different cruise lines have different things where you can actually see where your family is around the ship. You're stalking your whole family, but it is really helpful when you're on those big ships to know where your family is. Have a plan if somebody gets lost and they don't know where to go. Okay, so I know that was a lot of information. I've linked all of my favorite cruise essentials in the description below, and also the Cupshe link and discount code. If you're cruising soon, let me know where you're headed. I'd love to know. Also, if you have tips that maybe I didn't include in here, obviously there's so many. There's gonna have to be more videos, I guess, just to fit it all in. So if you have like a must-have item or a tip that you're like, this is like something that I always make sure I do on my cruises, please comment below and let us know. I know it would be helpful for other people watching to know what your tips or your top cruise essentials are. If you love this video, if it was helpful for you, please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel and is a huge encouragement to me. I really do enjoy creating this content to help you guys with travel tips and helping to make things fun and stress-free. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye!